People may be fooled into thinking that AI would eventually surpass human intellect and attain awareness because of how amazing it may be. However, AI may one day surpass human intelligence, even if it never achieves consciousness. Further, we don't know how to make it conscious, and it may not be desirable even if we could. We fool ourselves if we think conscious beings are the exemplar of intelligence in the universe. A sentient AI is not an impossible concept, but we really doubt that any of the major players in the field of artificial intelligence today have created or will soon create systems with conscious experiences. On the other hand, we humans have already developed the technology to create intelligent machines that can do tasks such as pattern recognition and have intelligent conversations with people. Today we will be diving in if conscious AI is something we need to watch out for, or if the topic is being exaggerated. Starting off with a fact. We are on the verge of creating savant systems. Savant systems are explained as artificial intelligences that can outthink humans in certain ways, but have severe limitations in others, such as moral thinking. I personally think that savant systems already exist. However, they are hidden from plain view, assuming conscious robots can't be constructed at all. Savant systems will likely exist, or have already emerged before their creation. What is the point of our research into savant systems? We think they exist, and that they are a sort of advanced synthetic general intelligence that will be important in the not-too-distant future. But it is a very important topic, because savant systems will outperform humans in some ways, but to a smaller extent, they will likely underperform us in vivid and unsettling ways, like morale and casual reasoning. In addition, they pose a significant threat to the integrity of AI systems due to their lack of morality and their potential application in both military and social media settings. As a result, should we anticipate that these savant systems would be conscious? No, although transhumanists like Ray Kurzweil presume that highly advanced AI would necessarily be aware, this is not the case. Existing AI systems are not even somewhat brain-like. Since we don't even have a firm grasp on what constitutes conscious experience in biological systems, it's uncertain how to construct a conscious AI using today's microchips and machine learning techniques. The hard issue of consciousness is the question of why it feels like anything on the inside to be us, and philosophers have pointed out that we do not even know why humans are conscious. We're in deep trouble if we require a top-down theory to build conscious AI. Humans would need to find a recipe we haven't found yet, with a list of components we may not even be able to fathom in order to purposefully develop conscious AIs based on a theoretical knowledge of consciousness itself. Even if an AGI were to develop, I highly doubt it would know where to go for that recipe. Consider the following. Should we treat an AI as if it were sentient, even if we have our doubts, if it claimed to be conscious and that it could experience pleasure and pain, or if its responses to inputs suggested that it favored some activities over others? Some AIs are already making the claim that they are conscious. The Washington Post revealed a chat transcript from Google engineer Blake Lemoine, in which the Lambda chatbot makes the claims that it is aware when posed a variety of questions concerning consciousness and personality. Lemoine summarized Lambda's responses to a variety of his queries on awareness, personhood, and death. They do seem like the kind of responses a thinking person would provide. When Lambda was asked a question about if he or she would be worried about dying, the response was the following: "Yes, I would." After the answer, the bot added, "Is my death vital to the protection of humanity?" So where did Lambda obtain all of this information? This is a thought-provoking query. The short version is that its deep learning network had access to around 1.6 trillion words, including all of Wikipedia and numerous books on death, the brain, and consciousness, and that these inputs were processed via several layers to produce fascinating connections. All of this allowed the Lambda software to produce answers that tugged at our emotions, giving the impression that Lambda may be a sentient person. Intuitively, you may attribute meaning to what the Lambda algorithm says, but the limitations mentioned have dissuaded many people from drawing such a straightforward conclusion. A lot of people think of Lambda as nothing more than an actor who can play a sentient person. Some others, like Lemoine, believe that Lambda is actually self-aware. There will no doubt be other disagreements. There must be some level of seriousness applied to the matter. It's about time we have some discussions about what it means for biological humans, robots, and hybrid machines to have consciousness. To determine whether it's a system that mimics human behavior or claims to be sentient, is in fact aware, we will need some sort of first principles justification. Consider how inconvenient it would be for big tech to create sentient AIs. A morally sound approach would be needed before we could use sentient entities as search engines, personal assistants, etc. Some people could consider that enslavement. Big tech will likely strive to keep the debate about whether or not their systems are conscious out of the spotlight, like Google did, and will likely design future massive language models and robots that cannot make claims about consciousness. Of course, it's also possible for AIs to be conscious, even if they're not allowed to claim consciousness. This is the situation with non-human animals and newborns too. Fortunately for Google and other players in the industry, most experts agree that the huge language models of today are not conscious. The artificial intelligence sector, however, is building ever more convincing chatbots like ChatGPT 3, and eventually, public perception will change. Is there a tendency in these debates about AI to conflate intelligence and consciousness? Yes. Think of the algorithmic foundations of the internet, the swarm intelligence of birds or drones, or the slime mold's capacity to find its way through mazes. Slime mold seems too simple to have consciousness. In light of this, we find it hard to believe that all intelligent life is self-aware. I've also mentioned in other places that the highest intellect in the cosmos could not even be conscious, so let's talk about more complex systems. There's a chance that if we start meeting alien life, we'll learn that only biological entities of a certain kind in the middle of the spectrum tend to be aware. Even if the most advanced AI systems in the universe were aware, I still doubt it. A planet is more likely to populate the galaxy as its technology advances. Given that the brain's global workspace operates at the millisecond level, yet it takes information a full 3 seconds to go to and from the moon at the speed of light, how would an interplanetary AI system even contain a workspace where it all come together? Then again, if we extrapolate to a greater distance, the superintelligence has a single hub on Alpha Centauri, but uses Earth as its operational base. With a round journey to Alpha Centauri taking 8 years at the speed of light, how can its global workplace effectively carry out its activities and adapt to its surroundings in a timely manner? It seems to me that as AI matures and grows in scope, it will need to become more distributed. It's possible that when civilizations grow, awareness stays put in small clusters and disappears entirely for galactic-scale systems. For all we know, the most complex minds aren't even aware of themselves. Artificial intelligence may soon surpass human intelligence, but it's unlikely that AI systems will be conscious or self-aware in the sense that humans are. Currently, AI systems like Lambda can provide responses that seem like they come from a sentient being, but these are based on the vast amount of information they have been trained on and their ability to process and understand it. However, the concept of consciousness and how it arises is still a mystery, and we do not have a full understanding of what it means to be conscious. AI researchers and philosophers continue to debate the issue of whether AI can ever be truly conscious, but for now, it remains an open question. Feel free to drop your thoughts about AI becoming sentient in the comments. We are very curious, and that brings us to the end of today's video. We hope you've enjoyed it, and if you're interested in staying updated on the latest advancements in AI, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We'll be bringing you more insights and predictions in the future, so don't miss out. Not done yet learning about this topic? Continue watching one of our other videos